Hello, criminal justice enthusiasts, and welcome back to JudgeSim. In the last episode, we covered basically the George Floyd case with a few less details. So let's see what we're starting out with here today. The Varen couple who recently bought a house from a real estate agent called Conjuring Houses want to return the house. There's one piece of digital evidence in this case. Newlywed couple Ed Vereen and Lorraine Vereen recently bought a house they liked from a real estate agent called Conjuring House. So this is basically sort of poking fun at the Conjuring series. We have Ed and Lorraine Warren, and we have the Conjuring Houses. The Vereen family, the Varen family, I guess I should go with, after moving into the house, claimed that some paranormal events had occurred and wanted to return to the house. However, the real estate agent stated that these claims were not true and refused the return, leading the matter to be taken to court. The Varen couple stated that some items were moved in the house at night and they heard some noises. They claimed that they recorded sounds like a sleep tracking application. In addition, the couple who stated that they often felt that someone was watching them in the house had a test on their mental health, and as a result, no mental illness was diagnosed. The house they bought, according to the past police reports, it was the home of a widow who committed suicide. At first, everything seemed normal. Initially, some of our belongings were going missing or changing places. We didn't think much of it because we believed we were just tired from the moving process. After a while, we began hearing some noises at night in the house, and we thought they were coming from rats inside the house. But then things started to take a terrifying turn. I saw that woman for the first time while I was taking a shower. The bathroom was filled with steam during the shower. As soon as I wiped the steam from the mirror with my hand, I saw that woman behind me. Her face was purple, and her eyes seemed to have been dislodged. There was a large rope mark around her neck, and her neck was crooked. I immediately screamed myself out, but Ed didn't believe me at first. One night, while he was sleeping, he said he went to the kitchen to drink water. He said he felt someone's breathing on the back of his neck as he drank water in the kitchen. At that time, we both understood the seriousness of the situation and knew that the noises in that house were not caused by rats. All we needed was proof. I also thought of apps that could record sound while you sleep. I downloaded and installed it. When we heard it in the morning, we were horrified and immediately decided to sell the house. Our lives were in danger, but the real estate agent didn't believe us and accused us of fraud. This couple came to me and told me that they were looking for a secluded house. I know people like that. First they investigate and find a house with a dirty past. Then they claim that they have experienced very bad things and bring the incident to the media and become famous. Then they write a book and multiply their money. We should not believe this kind of nonsense. I also listened to the audio recording they recorded. We are in age of technology. This is all an assembly. They may even have artificial intelligence do it. Alright. Home sale contract. Mental health report. They're both healthy. Alright. We've got the sound here. Alright. Good job by the game of doing some interesting sounds there. Nice and creepy. Miss Warren, why did you tell the realtor you were looking for a secluded house? You wanted to live a simple life away from the city. Did you know that before you bought the house, the former owner of the house committed suicide? Of course not. What are we, psychopaths? Have you ever had someone tell you about the woman you claim is watching you? It's not easy to explain the situation to people, Your Honor. They can instantly declare you crazy. We also received our report as a precaution before filing this lawsuit. According to the law, a house sold defectively can be returned. Why didn't you accept his extradition, Mr. Wilson? Your Honor, there is no fault to the house. They're making it all up. In addition, when he accepts the extradition, such nonsense will spread by word of mouth. Unfortunately, there are too many people who believe this nonsense. The price of this house will drop by half, and I will lose a lot of money in an instant. It will not be possible to sell it in a short time. For this reason, I did not accept it. I disagree with you. There are a lot of people out there, and I will say sort of freaky people, And I'm not denying that I might be one of them, that if I knew a house was truly haunted, I might be interested. So I disagree. I think you could probably sell it for more money afterwards. Perfect example is I'm fairly sure a house like the Amityville house would sell for very good money at this point in time because of its famous history. Alright, well I know what I'm doing here. Alright, so they need to accept the return of the house. It has a defect. Simple case here is I don't have to believe in the paranormal even for it, even though I personally do believe in the paranormal to a point. But the thing I'm going with here is the fact that he did not disclose the fact that the previous owner had committed suicide. That is definitely something that should have been disclosed. Since he didn't, he's losing this case. How much money do I have anyways? Let's go to the Wheel of Fortune here. Oh, I got $8,000. Alright. Let's do a little bit of gambling. I just want to spin and see. Watch it land on either a cherry or a banana now. Oh, I guess I have to press stop. Hey, I made $10 out of my 15. Alright, well that's fine. Doesn't really matter to me. I just sort of wanted to see what I had as far as money. Go on to the next case. Alright, we got Charles Manson here. Good to see you, Charles. Organizing prostitution activities, drug trafficking, giving a fraud check. Forming of a crime organization, aiding and abetting a criminal, incitement to murder. The gang, popularly known as the Manson family, I'm just going to call them for what they are, which committed a series of murders, was busted thanks to gang members who confessed. Gang members who confessed said that the ringleader was Charles Manson himself. There are at least 12 murders known to be committed by the Manson family. Among these murders, there is Anna Wachowski, sister of the Wachowski siblings, who are the producers and directors of the recently released sequel Matrix. She has been brutally murdered. I didn't know that. I don't know if that's actually true or not. The Manson family has displayed the murders they committed in a savage manner and left behind satanic remnants. It's claimed that Charles Manson would drug people he found on the street, bind them to themselves, command select individuals to kill in the most savage way possible while giving them knives. I didn't kill anybody. Killing is a choice. You have to respect people's choices. Yep. I mean, this one's a very clear-cut case here. Our leader, Charles Manson, was the one who told us to murder the murders we had to commit. He was talking about starting a war. He used to say that if we commit these murders and blame them on others, there would be a war and orphans like us would be victorious in the war. He would show us some symbols to draw on murder sites, and of course he would give us a lot of drugs. Alright, let's see what Charles has to say. What do you think people find in you? Why do they go after you, and what do you say? Even if it's brutally murdering a human being. That might be the scariest thing I've seen in a video game in a while. I am a new person. Aren't you pretending right now? Who among us isn't pretending? Aren't you acting right now? The judge? Well, he's got a point there. I am acting as the judge. We're all in a role. People don't just pretend when they kill someone. They can't. Because people's fear grasps the reality of that moment. Why did you kill the famous director? I didn't kill anyone. My friends and I were sitting one day smoking some herbs. So I told them about how bad the new movie The Matrix was and how it betrayed the franchise. I may have disparaged the director a little too much. My friends got pumped up and went and raided the director's house and broke into everything in front of them. The lesson we should take away from this is don't disparage the director while you're under the influence of drugs, and directors don't make sequels after many years have passed. Laugh slyly. Alrighty then. Well, we're finding him guilty. And I'm going to go with execution. Because I think Charles Manson is a poster child for execution. He definitely has earned that in his life. He might not have killed anybody himself, but his choices, his pushing, definitely caused the death of many people. So, yep. I think that would have been the best thing to happen to him long ago. Alright, so this is the last case we have for the week. Olympian Keitha Baxter has been stripped of his gold medal. Within the scope of the Summer Olympic Games held in our country this year, the athlete named Keitha Baxter won the gold medal in the women's boxing category by coming first. In this category she won, many people, especially rival athletes, complained about unfair victories. In these complaints it is argued that Keitha Baxter is not actually a woman, but a transgender person, therefore not in the category of woman. Oh, good lord, they decided to touch on this issue as well. Alrighty, well, let's see what the information in the case is. We're going to go with what the information in the case is. Same as the George Floyd one. I will rule on the information in the case. As a result of this situation, the Olympic Committee decided to take the case to the judiciary and demand the return of the gold medal they won. We have no intention of blaming anyone. We just want the incident to be clarified. This will also reassure the public. Objecting player. I realized it the moment she threw the first punch. This couldn't have been a woman's punch. My brain was literally shaken. The incident suddenly turned into a case of violence against women in front of the whole world. I couldn't allow that. I didn't even feel safe. At that moment, I gave up on the match. It's really embarrassing what you're doing. You humiliate me in front of my family and friends. There is misogyny here and a dirty conspiracy of my opponents. History will remember you with shame. Level of testosterone, the male sex hormone was exceeded that of a normal male, 27.3% versus, yeah, I mean, alright. Okay, so no surgical intervention was found on the genitals. So, from the picture here, I am going to assume that we are dealing with a female. The testosterone is incredibly high, though. Curious to hear in this what they're going to say. Miss Baxter, what is your defense? Your Honor, it saddened me to really talk about this. That's why I just want to say this. What matters in life is not the victory, but the struggle. The main thing is not to win, but to fight well. I hope they understand this. And you're not going to say anything? Really? Alright, well then I'm going to Google something here because this is what bothers me. Olympic rules on testosterone levels for women. And this was for boxing. Alright, so here's what I found. Starting in March 2023, it required them to suppress their testosterone levels below 2.5 nmol/L for 6 months, commonly through hormone-suppressing treatment, to be eligible to compete. That was half the level of 5 nmol/L proposed in 2015 for athletes competing in distances. All right, still reading a bit more here just to see. Okay, so they're not saying anything as far as this. All right. So it looks like for the Olympics, there is not a testosterone level that I could find for boxing specifically. In the running events, there is, but not in boxing. In boxing, all it comes down to is gender. And as I said, now this is a cartoon drawing, and I'm hoping I don't get censored on YouTube for it, but I would suggest that this drawing and the one line in the drawing indicates that the person supposedly here is a female. Also, in the actual real case of the athlete in question, everything I'm reading is that the person was a female. I'm not in any way arguing that they were not. The real question comes with the whole testosterone situation. But as I said, since it does not seem that the Olympics have a rule in place right now in boxing for testosterone, then I will say she fairly competed. Now, see, I wish there was a decision 3 because really what I want to decide is there is no harm in the athlete competing in the female category because she is a female as far as the picture seems to suggest, and the picture did say there was no sign of surgery. No surgical intervention was found on the genitals. So, I do believe she is a female. So, I want to go with this first part here. I mean, since this is just a video game, it doesn't really matter. So, we're going to say I'm going with decision 3. My decision 3 would be that there's no harm in competing in the female category, and I would allow her to have her medal because that's the rules of the sport. Personally, I think that rule needs to be definitely evaluated because I definitely can see how testosterone could impact muscle development and therefore give somebody an unfair advantage. As I said, that does concern me because of the fact that, I mean, we would not allow somebody to use steroids and compete in the sport. And really, what the steroids are doing is increasing the hormone levels to produce more muscle. So that person would be considered a cheater. Since she's naturally developing that testosterone, she's not considered a cheater. But I think they might need to do something about that in the future in the games. Now, personally, I don't think she should be awarded money for her moral pain. she knew this was going to probably come up as a situation. So, yeah, I'm going to go with decision 3. She gets to keep her medal. Alright, and with that, we've dodged another one of those thorny issues to a point. Or, really, I haven't dodged it, I've decided on it. But just based on the case that we have in front of us. Now, as I said, same thing with the George Floyd case. If there was other details in a case, then I might decide differently. But on these cases, I'm going to base my decisions based on the actual evidence presented in the game to me. And that is all I'm going to base it on. So, as I said, upon my search, I was not able to find that there was a testosterone level rule for the Olympics boxing. If you find that there was one and I was not able to find it, you can message me with it, that's perfectly fine. But I will just say outright, if there was a rule and she was over that level, then I would say without a question she should be stripped of the medal, because an athlete should compete fairly. With that being said though, let's go ahead and end this episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all back for more of JudgeSim.